This is the ensemble tool on AWIPS 2 for version 17.3.1. We open the ensemble tool from the toolbar, and when we do, we open the space on the right. You can see the buttons that we have at the top and some of the things that happen when you float over and click on those. That window there is resizable, and so when you're loading products, this space is useful to be open, and it can be collapsed later on. That first button there opens the volume browser, and we open the GEFS ensemble of surface temperature forecasts, and we will page through to see more of the that model run. We click on that little triangle there and expose the selectors for each of the ensemble members. We can toggle them on and off, as you see here. We can use our right button options to do all kinds of make an image out of any one of those, and we can unload them, and that's our basic display of spaghetti here in the ensemble tool. Here's where we start to make some calculations using our ensemble. We have a few options pre-coded up here. If it says image, that's what it makes. If it says if it doesn't have that word image, it makes a contour product. That contour product isn't working exactly right. Neither is the right button option to convert that into an image. So let's just unload that, and we'll do that directly from the menu. Here we are. We will select the range image. There it is right there, and now we'll just play around with the color table until we get a nice looking product at the end. If you stay to the end, you will see that there are some options for exporting that to KML or whatever. We're just going to black out everything using below a certain threshold of variability. It looks like it's set to 4.549 degrees Fahrenheit. Blacks out everything in the forecast that doesn't have that much variability. I'm just playing with the thresholds now. This section is basically over. Let's look now at the time series capability that's included. We can use the points tool to select which point we're going to be looking at. The procedure for loading a time series of an ensemble is basically the same way you load a time series from anything else. We basically copied that code. We have the ability to select any of those points we want. We'll stick with point A, it's good enough. We go to load. There's our time series of surface temperature at the selected point. And we have the option to go to the geared list in the upper right. We can toggle those on and off individually, and then we can go up to the gearbox and overlay the ensemble mean time series. That doesn't show up real well. Let's quickly change the look of that line so that it's a little bit more visible. There it is. You can see the mean time series is shown right there. We're even going to make it look a little nicer, make it yellow and a little bit more visible. There you have it. That's the time series in the ensemble tool. The ensemble tool includes what we call a matrix navigator. The point of a matrix navigator is to allow easy comparisons between two or more different models. There is a browser in the same place that there is a volume browser selector. For the spaghetti mode, this is a family browser. And we see that as we select a family and a couple of models, the available products show up in the bottom of that list there. So we're going to add the mean sea level pressure, and we'll add the surface or the precipitation image. Here we are. We can change the color of that overlay, and you'll note that the color change, the colors of the contours and the color tables of the imagery are the same whether we're looking at the GFS or the Euro. And so we'll just let these model runs load out to completion. We can watch either one of those load as we go. Let's go to the beginning. Let's step forward until we find some interesting looking weather to zoom in and do some comparisons. There's some stuff in the lower Mississippi Valley. Let's zoom in a little bit here, and let's add the surface winds. We can see that the models are in pretty good agreement, but when you look a little closer, there are some kind of important differences. So let's change the color first of those wind barbs so we can see what we're looking at. And now we can just go back and forth between the two of them. They're valid at the same time, and they're 72-hour forecasts. And you can see that the center of the cyclone is, I just advanced it by 6 hours, and now we're going back and forth on those. The up arrow and the down arrow change the model, and the left arrow and the right arrow go forward or backward in time. So you can navigate around the virtual matrix space that way with the buttons. I'm using the mouse to control that list on the right instead of the arrows for this example.